final form of manipulation we have is the idea of an expression. Now, an expression is just something that results in a value. You see this in math class every single day. You see something like this, 5 plus 4. Well, that is an expression that evaluates the result of 9. That is an expression. Text can also have expressions, so we can do something similar in our text. We can effectively add text together. So I could do something like this. I could add these two pieces of text together. So if I save this and run it, we end up with hello world. Notice that there's no space in between. Well, that's because I don't have a space there, I don't have a space there. I could put that space in right here, and if I ran it again, then I get the space. Alternatively, I could put the space here and run it again. Oops, wrong button. And I get the space again. I still get the same results. The same thing as doing 5 plus 4 or 4 plus 5. It's effectively the same thing. Now, I could do a third option, which means adding an actual space as a character. So I have hello plus a space plus world. Now when we run this, again, here's a third way of getting the exact same results. When we add text together, we use a special word for this. We use the word concatenate. Let me write that down so you can actually see what that means. C-O-N-A-T-E-A-E-N-A-T, concatenate. So we can concatenate text together, right? The verb for it, concatenation. Okay, so we can concatenate two pieces of text together, but we can actually concatenate more than just text. We can concatenate a lot of different things. We can do text and text. We can also do text and escape sequences, escape characters. I keep using that escape sequence term. They're kind of interchangeable. You hear it all over the place. But really it's same basic thing. Escape character, escape sequence. So hello plus /n plus world. Now think to yourself what this should do right now. It means display hello. At that point of the cursor, move on to the next line. At that point, display world. So if we run our program, we get hello world. Now you should be probably thinking to yourself, well, what's the point of adding these things together? Why don't I just get rid of this and get rid of this? And we get the exact same results again. The reason being is I'm trying to demonstrate something. Quite simply, you wouldn't create a program that looks like this because that is useless, beyond useless. But it is a demonstration of what we can do, not necessarily what you will do. In the future, you can see that we're actually going to put this to a lot better use and do a lot more effective things. But for now, we're just going to be concatenating these things together. So not only can we concatenate text and text, text and escape characters, we can also do text and numbers. So if I do this, let me change the text because this doesn't really make any sense. You are 16 years old. We run this again. We get you are 16 years old. Well, we should format that a little bit. Let's add some spaces in here. Run it again. You are 16 years old. So we can actually see that it is concatenating you are, and then with 16, and then concatenating that result with years old. Well, how does it actually do this? How does that work? I thought we had to put text in there. No, we don't. We don't have to put text at all. What happens is when Java sees that you are trying to concatenate text with a number, it actually treats this number as text. It will do that automatically for you. But what that means is that that number is effectively no longer a number. It is now text for this instantaneous purpose. Now that being said, we can actually manipulate the number. We can actually do numerical expressions, mathematical expressions. So I could do something like this and achieve the exact same results. Now notice I'm putting it in brackets. I'm putting it in brackets because it follows proper Bedness rules, which means brackets first. So if I run this program, we get the same results. You are 16 years old. Now what if I took away the brackets? Would we get the exact same results? You are 106. Huh. Well, why does that happen? It happens because it does things in order. It works from left to right. So because we didn't put this in brackets, it didn't know to do brackets first. So it did addition first. Well, it is adding text with a number. concatenating. So it's saying you are plus 10. So you are 10. So the cursor's at this point. Then it says add 6. But the thing is, at this point, what the system is actually at is something that looks like this. You are 10. That is what it's concatenating 6 onto at this point. It's not doing 10 plus 6. So we have to be very careful about the way we set this up. So you are 10 plus 6 will not result in the same thing. So it is important to effectively use brackets to get the results we want. So going into that, we do have numerical expressions. There are a lot of numeric operators. There's a lot of operators in general that we have to use. We have the plus operator, which we see here, which concatenates. Whenever we're doing text and anything else, it concatenates. It essentially takes one piece and puts it at the end of the first piece. Concatenate. The second use of a plus sign is just your basic addition, when you're doing a number plus a number. Now again, it will follow proper Bedmas rules. Now of course we can also do things like, let's change these numbers a little bit just to make them a little bit more simple. Let's say 6 and 2. So that of course is a value of 8. If I change this to a subtraction sign, then it actually does the math. We get 6 minus 2, and it'll give us a value of 4. Now what if we want to multiply? I can't do x because x represents the letter x inside of Java. That is as a piece of text. That's not going to work. It needs some type of symbol. So we use the asterisk. If you look at your number pad on the right side of your keyboard, you will actually see that asterisk in the place of a multiplication sign, because that's what it's used for. Right beside that multiplication sign is the divide sign, or a forward slash. Think of it more like a fraction, 6 over 2. It's the exact same thing. So 6 divided by 2 gives us 3. If we run this just to see, you are 3 years old. Now there's one other operator that you probably haven't seen before, and it's usually not taught till later years in high school, but we're going to cover it right now because it is fairly straightforward. There's nothing really that complicated about it. It is the modulus operator. So that percent sign stands for the term modulus. M-O-D, modulus. Sometimes we use short form mod. So we might say 6 mod 2. What modulus is the remainder. What is the remainder of the division 6 divided by 2? Well, 2 goes into 6 evenly 3 times, and there's no remainder. So the result of this should be a value of 0. So let's try that out. We get you are 0 years old. Great. What if we change this to a 5? That means 5 divided by 2, what is the remainder? How many times does 2 go evenly into 5? Twice. Well, that takes up 4 of the 5. So what's left over? What's the remainder? Well, 5 minus 4 is 1. So we should end up result of 1. You are 1 year old. Not very good grammar over there, but either way. So you are 1 year old. So this is a way that we can do, the way that we can handle modulus. And you're thinking, why would I ever need that? You're going to find that that's going to be one of the most used operators you're going to implement in your programs later on once we get into more complex projects. So it is a very useful tool. Now, one thing I should mention, typically speaking, we do not do math inside of our output statements. We're doing it here as demonstration purposes only. Typically, you will actually do that math and store the result, and then you'll display the result all by itself or within concatenating usages. You won't actually do the math in the output statement itself. That's bad style. It just clutters up your code and makes it unreadable. And readability is one of the most important things of our program. So we will do it elsewhere and then include the result here in this system. So that is expressions. We've learned how to do text expressions as well as mathematical expressions to achieve certain results. And that should be everything we need at this point.